this show comes out on Saturday on April Fool's Day, we're not going to do some cheesy April Fool's joke, are we?
No.
Okay.
No. I didn't even think about that. Otherwise, we would have.
Hey, this show comes out on Saturday. We're not going to do some cheesy April Fool's joke, are we?
No. That's welcome to Radio Labyrinth. This is season 8, episode 13. No cheesy April Fool's joke. You guys, we are talking about Yellow Jackets on our Patreon only recap show that we've been doing. And we are proud of ourselves because we actually did a full season of a show and didn't bail on it. And that's usually my fault. So I will take the congratulations. We are now doing Yellow Jackets season 2, which is on Paramount Plus app or the Showtime if you have the cable, which I still do, unfortunately. And I get my bill and I get mad because I have all these other things that I'm paying for. And boy, anyway, it doesn't matter. Yellow Jackets, great show. Hear us talking about it and all the fun people and ear eating going on and more cannibalism on the way. And how do you access those shows? Well, you become a Patreon member and you go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews, where you can join us at the $25 producer level, like Terry Fuller, Chris Chandler, Roby Neely, Tim Slayton, Mike D, and Matt Carter. And for that, you will receive a t-shirt. You'll get a doodle from Tim, and that'll be a printout of one I've already done, and I will sign it for you and mail it to you. And won't that be neat? And that's for new signups. And that'll be a lot of fun. Of course, you get this weekly shout out. But at the $5 and above level, you have access to the show that we put on Patreon that you can watch on Patreon. And if you're smart enough to figure it out, you can create an RSS feed for that, I think. I don't know. Because I'm dumb and I don't really know an awful lot. Speaking of Roby Neely, one of our longtime supporters on Radio Labyrinth, and he is started doing a podcast with his son. And I think that's pretty cool. It's on YouTube. And he gave us a shout out on his show last week. And I want to give him a shout out this week so you guys could check it out. You know what I'm saying? It's something you can watch. It's called Chatting with Daddy. So just go into YouTube and type in Chatting with Daddy, or actually Dustin will probably put a link right here. You go watch it. And in the most recent episode, he's wearing the Fuchsie designed Radio Labyrinth 80s bedroom t-shirt, which is one of my favorites that we have on our store. So thank you, Roby, and best of luck with your channel. And I think you guys should go watch it.
That kid's a little cutie. He deserves all his internet fame.
Yes, check him out. Radiolabyrinth.com is up. I don't know what we're doing on there because I never look at it, but I'm glad we have it. And we'll eventually have it all pretty and everything for you. The Popcast, which is my radio show that airs every Saturday night at 7 on WSB radio in Atlanta, or you can listen to it on the WSB radio app, or just download the podcast the following Monday. This week, my guest on the podcast is Broen Lollar, some dude that, I just met on the street. No, he is the lead guitarist of a band called St. Paul and the Broken Bones. He's been on this program before. He and, the entire band, St. Paul and the Broken Bones, are playing Amplified Decatur Music Festival in late April. So find out all about that by listening to the show. And now, without any further ado, let's get on with it, okay?
He's also Dustin's brother.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that one important. Hi, my name's Leslie Graham, the senator from the great state of South Carolina, and all, and I really like to get Americans killed over in foreign countries, and I like to give all of our money and resources to foreign countries where there's wars going on, because I think that's great. It makes my little pee-pee hard for that to happen. And another thing I like to do is write bills that ban TikTok. Let me tell you why I'm banning TikTok, because I hate China. I hate China so much that I replaced all of the flatware, all the plates in my house with styrofoam, and that's what I do. Because, I just don't understand TikTok. I don't say there's a lot, in my feed, in my For You feed, there's a lot of guys without shirts on and ladybugs. Now, ladybugs, I don't know what that's all about, but hey, I just want you to know that I had, okay, why am I doing this voice? Why am I talking about it? I will tell you why. You want to know why? Because he's one of these senators, along with a whole bunch of mostly Republican and then a lot of Democratic senators who want to ban this app TikTok. And I'll tell you, there's a reason I'm bringing this up. And I have a mea culpa, I'll eat crow, whatever you want to say. TikTok is, everyone knows, a social media app that's been getting a lot of hate for a long time. And I was one of those people who's like, why would I want to watch a bunch of Gen Zers, eating Tide Pods, blah, blah, blah. Why do I want to watch a bunch of vapid women doing the most annoying thing on earth, which is ASMR? And, I hate that stuff. And so I was like, I'm too old. I can't figure it out. And a lot of things I am. I'm like my grandmother. Can you come fix the clock on the VCR? It's blinking 12. I said, well, I fixed it last week, Nana. Well, I unplugged it. Okay, I'll come fix it. That's how I feel when I look at TikTok and the certain things I want to do. But the government, for the last couple of weeks, the government ramped up on banning TikTok. Now, let's rewind to the previous president, the one with the hair and the skin and, all that. He wanted to ban TikTok and everybody lost their minds. Everybody went nuts. You can't do that. That's where we all meet, congregate, and kids will die if they can't get on TikTok. Now, it's the complete opposite. The administration, the current administration, the one with the old minister from Poltergeist 2.
I'm gonna die in there, all of you. Pleasure visiting with you.
That's our president. He, the old guy who can barely talk, who I trust though with everything. I do trust him. He's an honest man. He's never lied a day in his life. But they want to ban TikTok because they want everybody to hate China, because they want us to go to war with them at the same time. And that's why Lindsey Graham, he doesn't know anything that's in his bill. There's a bill called the Restrict Act. And it's not just banning TikTok, it's making sure that you have no privacy at all when you are online, and they can monitor anything that you do. They already can. They're just now being open about it, which is why it pisses me off so much that they'll selectively drag this guy from Singapore last week into a congressional hearing and badger him, these like fat women, congresswomen from wherever going, now, what is a TikTok? Or some
TicTac. That's what I called it.
Yeah, what is TicTac? Or then there's another stupid congressman, I don't know, he's some fat loser. He's like, well, does TikTok get on my home Wi-Fi?
Does it have access to my Wi-Fi?
Yeah, does it have access? And the guy's like, well, if you allow it, why would I allow a Chinese application?
Is it going to find my folder?
Is it going to find my kitty porn folder? Because I can't have the Chinese knowing I got kitty porn on my iPhone. And so it's just pissing me off. And so
I know the whole reason, though. It's money. Because
I know it's money. It's money.
TikTok was making a shit ton of money on advertisers. And all the American companies were losing a shit ton of money on advertisers.
And the companies that are losing the money to advertisers are the companies that give these members of Congress here's your money to leave us alone. Go back to the 90s when they went after Bill Gates. Before Bill Gates was the guy that owned all the cows in the world and created vaccines that don't work. He was just, before he became Dr. Evil, he was a guy that ran Microsoft, and he didn't give to political parties. Remember what happened to him? We can't have that browser on every computer. What is Internet Explorer? Does it make you go to the Alps and explore, and does it make you go here and do this and that? I'd like to get some of that money that you have. You have a lot of money, and we could really use that money. Oh, you're not going to give it to us? All right, trust bust time. So they fucked him, and then look what they did to him, right? They turned him into a jerk. He made all that money, and now, he just goes around telling people, what kind of ovens they can use and that kind of shit. So anyway, that's what they're doing to this TikTok company. It has nothing to do with that it's a Chinese company and that they might have access to.
Well, it's the fact that it's not an American company.
Well, that's true. Google, Alphabet, which owns Google and YouTube, Facebook, which is owned by Meta, and Meta also owns Instagram. They take your data and they will do whatever they please.
Yeah, they're all doing the same shit that TikTok's doing.
Exactly. So, as an experiment, I have had a TikTok account, and I went in there and I started looking at my For You feed. And I was surprised. I'm looking at it, and the algorithm is feeding me things I want to look at.
You got to train your algorithm.
Yeah, well, I saw
don't watch videos for longer than 5 seconds if you're not into them, like those ASMR videos.
Right. And you can also click the little forward button and click Don't Show Me This, and it's a little broken heart.
Yeah.
I don't know any of this. I didn't know any of this. The algorithm for TikTok is probably the best social media algorithm I've ever seen, because, you know, you have people that you follow and you can watch that feed, but in the For You, you see things that you want to see. And I follow things that make me laugh. Like there's this guy on there, and I forget his name, but he's this guy from Boston, and he just reads stuff from Nextdoor and Facebook groups.
He sounds like the wife on Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. He's so fucking funny, and he's just reading. He doesn't swear and anything like that, and you know, he edits it out, if whatever. But he's funny, and it's just quick, and yeah, thanks a lot, and so I'm seeing all these things, and you know, I'm not seeing people fighting. Now, the Twitter algorithm, they want you to engage. They want you to fight. They want you to click on the news story and write something stupid. And I've been down that road before, and I fell for it, and I don't do it anymore. So I don't know. Will they be able to ban TikTok? You have people like Rand Paul, who's a senator from, where is he from? He's from Kentucky. And you have this Thomas Massey. He's a House member also from Kentucky. There are principled people who are like, no, you can't do this. This is a business. And also people have a First Amendment right to access these things, and you can't be tracking private people. And again, I think a lot of you gonna find my all the Bitcoin I stole, blah, blah, blah. You know, just the government needs to just stop it. Stop.
I love the irony that they want to monitor everything that we're doing and in turn turn themselves into China, because that's exactly what China does.
That's exactly what they're going to do. And they'll say that you hear that argument. Well, why doesn't China allow access to TikTok? Because they already have their own thing. It's called Weibo, or no, it's called Weiwei, right? Something like that.
Their version of it, yeah.
Yes. That is what Elon Musk is going to turn Twitter into, because he owns X.com. Twitter is eventually going to be something that you could walk around with and you know, doom scroll and go, oh yeah, I need to buy something, so I'm going to use my Twitter coin to buy something. And you buy Twitter coin with dollars. It's just going to be one huge app filled with everything. And he'll probably buy, you know, a company and make phones. And then he'll buy, you know, whatever. So that's where we're going. But Dustin makes a great point. You know, we don't want China doing what we're already doing. And that's what's happening. So if you like TikTok, or if you're out there and you're like, I don't want to go to TikTok because it's China, just remember, you already allow every damn thing. Do you ever read the agreement when you download an app? No. You just go, okay.
Just follow our RL podcast on TikTok.
Follow RL podcast on TikTok. All right, TicTac. On TicTac. All right, I'm done. And so there's my mea culpa. It's a fun app. You easily can get time suck if you're looking at it. So
that's why I don't go on there.
It's fun. It's fun. I tell you what. This is funny.
So I realized that there is something hypnotic about it.
Yes.
To where you do lose track of time. You think you're looking at it for like a few minutes, and then you look up and it's been 50 minutes. Mm-hmm. And when the last couple times I went on there and that happened to me, I was like, fuck this. I'm not fooling with this shit anymore. Yeah. I do feel like there is something to it, to where you just kind of get entranced in it. I see lots of people doing it. I don't think it's China. I think it is that algorithm, but I think there's some freaking magical pixie dust, some shit. They just zoom right into your brain.
I got my algorithm trained perfectly. All boobs on that for you.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Of course, you're scrolling and scrolling.
You can hear Jeff around the corner.
How do you go to the bathroom with no TikTok, though, Steph?
Well, when you have to peel yourself off the seat and you've got a red ring around your ass.
I look at the dogs that are probably going to get killed. That's what I do.
No,
oh, poor doggy.
Yeah.
Or you're looking at him, you look at the date, and it was like 4 years ago, and you're like, oh, shit. All this has already happened.
I read stuff. Sometimes I'll watch a show.
That's how I got through the entire season of So I Think You Should Leave. was bathroom visits. I was like, oh, little clip here, little clip there.
And the first or the fifth time you watched the season?
Yeah, like the fifth. I've watched it like so many times.
Yeah.
Through and through.
But what are you watching?
What you watching there?
What are you watching?
Okay, so what are we watching?
What are we watching?
What are you watching?
Any you guys watch The Consultant yet?
No, is that good?
It's on Amazon Prime. Roby recommended it, and I had been hesitant to check it out because I hadn't heard much about it. But he was into it, so I checked it out. I've watched like 5 episodes. It's really good. Christoph Waltz is fucking nuts.
That's what I was going to ask.
Him, the guy from
Inglourious Basterds.
Django. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Django.
Yeah.
And so he's a consultant. What does he consult? What does he do?
It's like the offices, they make video games.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
The founder of the company died, and this guy was hired the week before he died to start consulting for him until he showed up like the day after he died. And everyone, like, no one knows what the hell's going on. And it's fucking bizarre. He's bizarre. Like, in the first 5 episodes, I've gone from thinking that he was just like a corporate consultant scumbag kind of guy to actually being Satan to maybe being a robot. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm going to keep watching it. It's good.
Oh, I'm intrigued now. I think I do want to watch it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It's on Amazon Prime. Check it out. I think all the episodes are out now, but I've only watched 5.
Did you finish Daisy Jones and the Six?
I did.
I cried.
Yeah, I did too. I liked it better the first time I saw it when it was called Eddie and the Cruisers.
It was so much better than that. Get out of here.
No way. I watched the first episode and I just thought it was boring.
I had a hard time getting into it at first because I was like, oh, one of these mock-yous, where they're whatever. But then once I got through the first episode, I was like, okay. And then the second episode, I was really into it.
I think the songs suck. That's what bothers me the most. They're fake. That's what
they're really singing.
I know, but they don't sound like 70s songs to me, like good 70s songs. They just sound like, they don't sound like a band that would have been the best band in the world. No. But anyway, let me keep rambling if you don't mind.
Oh, please.
No, it's good. You should go back and watch it. I watched all of it.
I will. Caitlin loved it. And she's, she finds a show that she really likes and she really supports it. So I should watch it because she does have good taste when it comes to shows like that. And I guess maybe I will someday, but there's just so much to watch. And I'm too busy listening to T-Pain's new album, Above the Covers, which I guess no one else likes but me.
I like the Dr. Hook one, but that's because I like Dr. Hook.
I figured that's why I sent that one. He does it, Steph.
You sent that shit at like 6:30 in the morning. So I'm like, I put it on and I make it to War Pigs and I can't finish it. I just couldn't finish it.
I love his version of War Pigs. You guys did not like it.
No,
dang it. I didn't know he hated it. I didn't know he could sing. No,
he can't.
Yes, he can. That's not auto-tune. He won The Masked Singer, and that's.
This is purely subjective because I did not feel like he was singing well.
You did not? Okay. You thought, well, what do you think? You're just screaming?
Yeah, it wasn't good to me. Just like your Daisy Jones. That's how I feel about T-Pain. I was like, why is this happening? I don't understand.
I don't know. I liked That's Life. I thought it was fun. I just think it's fun. I think there's so much coming out now that's so blah that this is just a fun thing. Maybe upon subsequent listens, I won't enjoy it as much, but
I'd like them to if he takes the album and runs it through the auto tuner, I'd probably into it.
Yeah. Moreover than that, I like him. I like I'm on a Boat that he did with Lonely Island. I like,
but that's a Lonely Island song.
He's a good producer. He makes good production, but yeah, I mean, I think of this the way you think of rebooted movies. Like I don't think cover albums are a good idea. I mean, they're good for a theme. So like if Depeche Mode wanted to do like the Cure's first album and something weird like that where it has a niche, but this is like, let me pick songs from every genre and do them my way. It just seems too self-indulgent.
Oh, I believe that for sure. I look at them like novelty songs, so that's probably where I am on that I think they're like Dr. Demento style novelty songs.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, totally. If it came on Dr. Demento.
Merry-go-round.
Yeah, I don't consider it high art or fantastic creations musically. I just think they're fun little ditties. I like fun shit. I'm trying to get back into fun shit. And anyway, I'll tell you about this dream I had, and then we can talk about some other stuff. I took a nap today when I got home from work, and it was a deep sleep because I had this dream, this very vivid dream. So I'm at my grandparents' house in Millerton, Pennsylvania for some reason. It's the von Hessler doctrine. We're all sitting there.
Was Cy Simon there?
No, he wasn't there. No one in my family was there either. Or maybe my aunt Charlene was there, I think. And because she's the one I asked, where did Dana Carvey go? That spoiler alert, Dana Carvey was there, and I believe David Spade. So we're all sitting around, but for some reason there's no furniture. It's like a Manson family living room where everybody's just sitting on the floor, or like a folded up old bed. And we're telling jokes, we're watching some sporting event or baseball or football. I can't quite remember now. I just know the television was on. And Dana Carvey starts doing impressions, so I start doing one, and he laughs, and then he gets up and goes, "I got to go get a beer." And I look over at Eric, and I go, Eric von Hessler, and I said, "Are there any beers?" And he goes, "Yeah, go grab an Amstel Light." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I go out to get the beer, and I'm in my grandparents' kitchen, and I see Dana walk out the front door, and I said, "Where'd Dana go?" And my aunt goes, "To get more beer." And I go outside, and I'm in this is literally where I grew up, basically, in my grandparents' driveway outside of the garage, and there's a bunch of cars, and I look, and all of a sudden I see this car with his headlights speeding up the driveway. It crashes and flips over, and Dana Carvey rolls out of the car laughing. And
where'd you go to get beer?
I don't know.
The distributors, in Blossburg.
Well, they live close to the state line, so they could just go to New York State and get the beer. Those details aren't in there. And besides, it was like that. I wasn't standing there waiting for him to get back from Labyrinth.
Just like, there's just no way that this could have ever happened.
No, I'm
not. Now with the distribution issue.
I don't think George Clark, who is one of the members of our show, he's standing over the wreck with his phone, like just recording everything for posterity. It was a weird, wacky dream, and it's because I keep thinking I want to get him on this show. Just Dana, I don't want David Spade.
Yeah, I've reached out to him. I've never heard back.
Yeah, I know. He's too big of a star, and he is a huge.
I told him to ask Kyle Gass about you, but no response.
Kyle Gass.
Yes. Craig Gass.
Yes. I would love to have him on here just to talk about all sorts of stuff. Like, he loves the Beatles, and he loves old movies, and he does all those great impressions. I just think it would be fun. I think you would have a good time. So if you're a fan and you want to try to get him on here, pester the shit out of him. We talked about the time he crashed all the cars in my grandparents' driveway when he went out to get beer. Shouldn't have been drinking and driving. So that's my little shit, and boy, look how far we've gotten. And I've just been rambling. But Steph was onto something when she told us about season 2 of Perry Mason. How do you guys feel about this? I'm loving this show. It's just what
loving it.
Yes. You have.
Dustin, are you watching it?
Yeah, I'm watching it, but I've only watched the first episode. I haven't caught up with everything else yet.
I won't spoil anything at all, but I got to tell you, this to me is better than the first season.
I agree.
It's very much more a film noir type of story. It's got an LA Confidential type of feel to it. The cast, mostly the same as last season, but again, there's new people, and it's fantastic. So you have Matthew Rhys as Perry Mason, Juliet Rylance, what's her name, Della Street.
Yeah, she showed her headlights.
Nah, I don't care about that. She's in a romance with another woman. I mean, all these stories, and just the acting and the pacing is so good. And Chris Chalk, my God, what a great actor that guy is. You know, balancing his home life with going out and being the snoop for Perry, and you know, Shea Wingham.
Yeah, when they went to the horse race, that was great.
Yeah, Shea Wingham. You put him in anything, and it's good. You could put him in one of the worst shows ever made. Just go back and retcon and put him in it with his little sneer and a cigarette out of his mouth.
Why is he always eating outside? It's like somebody said, "Don't get the hell out of here. You eat on the street."
Okay, okay.
Okay, he does have that Brad Pitt eating in every scene kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a method actor type of thing. The guy from The Sopranos, the guy that was the chef. I don't know his real name. I can't think of it right now. He played Artie Bucco, and I can't think of his real name right now for some reason. But he said that, you know, it's a method thing to do while you're eating, and Shea is definitely probably a trained method actor. This Paul Raci guy from Sound of Metal, Baskets, Parks and Rec, he's been in a ton of stuff. Paul Raci plays, the patriarch of this family that's involved in the story, and he's amazing as a badass. And you have Sean Astin, the grocery store magnate. I love Sean Astin. You put him in something, it's usually pretty good. Ill-fated because he dies in everything. He hasn't yet, so that's not a spoiler. But doesn't he dies in everything? He died in 20.
Not in Lord of the Rings.
That's true. TV shows. I'll put a caveat in there. But he died in
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Yeah. And he got killed in 24. I never believed him as the head of CTU anyway. Speaking of 24, did you guys listen to my interview with Mary Lynn Ricecoop?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm going to tag it at the end of Monday's Popcast podcast, so that it'll be. And Wallace Langham, which we all know from CSI and the Larry Sanders Show. He's in this as well. You see him. So I'm loving that show. Last week's Picard, I thought, gave me memberberry overdose, gave me lots of feels. I was semi-hard the entire episode. My nipples were just scraping my shirt.
You're happy that Data's alive now?
Data's there. Spoilers. The spoiler alert. I call him Data Lor Soong because he's an amalgam.
Don't forget B4.
Oh, yeah, B4. It's just really good. You see so many cool things.
When he switches between characters, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Just his acting, when you can tell he's Data in 1 second, and then he switches to B4, and you can see it in his face.
He's also that character from Night Court.
Yeah. Well, how do you do that?
But they go to this. The plot of it basically is they go to this secret place where it's like the Area 51 of Starfleet, and you see like the Genesis devices there, Kirk's remains are there, Picard's remains are there, and really what they need is an art bell. And who knew that Data was actually, you could like watch movies, just kick him and then he'll be a movie. Anyway, that's a good show. That's another thing I'm watching. Did you guys watch Lucky Hank season 2 or episode
2? Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
I did not, but go ahead.
All right. I'm not going to spoil any of it because it's a good episode. It's a good, heartwarming episode. It has a very Ted Lasso ending, and I mean that in a good way.
You keep Ted's name out your fucking mouth.
In this instance, I can mention it. It's a great episode. It's more delving into his character, his life, and other people that are a part of the show. Brian Husky's in it as a character, an author named George Saunders. They're ostensibly contemporaries.
I kept waiting for Brian Husky to be Brian Husky.
Yeah.
And then he never was.
No, he was just totally in the character.
That he's going to be who he normally is.
Yeah,
but he wasn't at all, and that's why it was good. So there is a lot of good TV out there, man. This show's really good. There's tons more probably than I'm watching, but I'm very proud of myself this week that I was able to take notes and watch things. And then the other thing that I got teared up, and then I'll shut up and you guys can feel free to interject. I feel like I'm dominating. Maybe it's the caffeine. I won't get any sleep tonight, but that's okay.
You're all hopped up on goofballs.
I'll hopped up on goofballs. I watched the documentary that's on Prime called Reggie. I didn't know anything about it other than it was Reggie Jackson, and they were going to talk about his career and his life. And I think
when they put a documentary about the candy bar out, I'll watch that. But other than that, I'm out.
Well, this is more than just Reggie Jackson, the flamboyant 70s superstar, and somewhat 80s, but mostly he was a 70s baseball superstar. It's about, I started getting watery eyes in the first 2 minutes. And I was hooked, and there was other moments throughout the show because of personal memories that I have that made me really love it, but also things I didn't know about. And a lot of these things, you think, when it comes to professional baseball, Jackie Robinson is the benchmark. He's the first black pro baseball player for the Dodgers. The Brooklyn Dodgers signed him and opened the door to a lot of places. I think probably the last team to have an African-American player might have been the Red Sox. And we all know why that is.
That tracks.
Yes. But so Reggie was drafted, and I think he became a pro ball player in 68 or 69. And when he was in the minor leagues, which was the mid-60s, early 60s, he's traveling around with all these guys who ended up being his teammates. Even then, he had to he couldn't go in the front door of a restaurant. They had to bring him food. And you learn about this stuff that, okay, you know, it's like kind of like we learned in history class when we were little kids, in teenagers as well. When you're learning, Civil War happened, slaves were freed. And then in 1964, the Civil Rights Act was signed. And that was it. That's what we learned, pretty much. That's a summation of what we learned in history class. And it's all bullshit. And these guys are professional athletes, and they're getting paid, and they're getting paid less. So basically, it's the story of his career and how he, you know, made the Yankees, and, you know, he won World Series with the A's, won them with the Yankees. How he, you know, started making more money, and how he was a superstar, and he was a media superstar, and he was actually making more money from endorsements than he was from his team. And he was making $1 million, I think, in 1977, which, you know, now, baseball player makes $1 million, they're poor.
He made $1 million off me just on the candy bar alone.
Yes, that candy bar was really good. It was easy to shoplift. It tasted good. Most importantly, it was easy to shoplift because I was poor. But there's things in there, when you watch a documentary like that, you can learn things. And I learned things that I didn't know. Like, there's this great, he sits down with Hank Aaron. This must have been right before Hank Aaron passed away, talking to him about, and Hank Aaron has always been known for being a frank person. He says, you know, the Braves put my name on an office door so they could say they put my name on an office door. He had no contribution. And when Reggie became a member of the Yankees company, you know, the team, he was part of the staff after he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which he did do as a Yankee. George Steinbrenner had him doing things like scouting and being a part of the planning. But the new Steinbrenners, the kid that owns the team, Hank or whatever his name is, they don't have anything for him to do. So he quit, and he went to work for the Houston Astros. And that guy actually utilizes him, and he helps people, and he coaches them how to bat. So there's a lot of guys from the 80s teams, or from the 60s and 70s, the A's teams, and you know, Derek Jeter's in it, and a bunch of these guys that just, if you love old school baseball and you want to learn something about the struggles that these guys had to go through, even in the 70s, man, you don't even think about it. You don't think about it, because I remember being a kid, Reggie Jackson was everything to me. I wanted all the baseball cards. I wanted to watch the Yankee games every day. I loved this guy. Even when he was when he got traded or went to the Angels, he wasn't traded. He was a free agent. Went to the Angels. I would watch Yankee games every time they played the Angels because I wanted to see him. I wanted him to hit all the home runs. I wanted him to break, I guess at the time it was Hank Aaron's record. I wanted him to break that and be because he was my favorite guy, and he was a home run hitter. Didn't know any of this crap. And to this day, when you see, you know, people doing things or people protesting, it's still the same as it was then, because, you know, there's a lot of players, but they don't quite make it into the management roles. And I'm not talking about being a manager. I'm talking about, you know, running the day-to-day operations, being a general manager. And, you know, that could be a lot of the problems that baseball has now because nobody watches it anymore. So anyway, that's my rant, and I hope you don't mind that I did that. But it was important to me, and most important to me is I'll never forget that I got to watch him hit all 3 of those home runs in the 77 series live, while my mom and my grandfather kept getting angrier and angrier because they were rooting for the Dodgers.
Did they go over the time in the 90s when he tried to kill Queen Elizabeth?
I must kill the Queen. I must kill the Queen. I must kill the Queen.
They did not. No, they really brushed that aside. That was a terrible chapter in Reggie Jackson's life when he tried to kill. That was actually the late 80s, wasn't it?
Yes. But you bring up an interesting point, Tim, that I think to myself a lot. Like, how do we make Whitey not suck? I don't know how to make Whitey stop. I mean, Whitey's just always going to be Whitey.
I'm Whitey.
What they do. I mean, there's nothing that we can do. We're not Whitey. That's not who I'm talking about.
Right.
You know who Whitey is, and that's why I always wish there was a clear definition between us and Whitey. Because Whitey screws us too.
And now he did. Guys like Lindsey Graham, that's Whitey.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did you ever lose a Reggie Jackson card flipping?
Probably.
I remember I did, and I was mad.
Probably, but I kept Like, I would have had a stack of Yankees cards that I wouldn't use for flipping. So, yeah. But, yeah, we will never get rid of Whitey. Well, I don't know. Maybe. COVID did a good job of it a couple years ago.
But, you know, when I was a kid, I wasn't that much into baseball at all, really. But I knew who Johnny Bench and I knew who Reggie Jackson was.
Yeah. But there were sports that you liked or actors that you liked. Like, I didn't watch TV show. I didn't watch Sanford and Son when I was 6 or 7 years old and go, oh, this is the struggle of an older black man and his son who own a junk shop. No, it was funny. I didn't watch Good Times for the reason it was created. I watched it because it was funny. And I looked at John Amos as, wow, that guy is a strict dad. So when you're a kid, you're like, I wouldn't want a dad like that because he's so strict. But as you get a little bit older, you think, well, you know, he was well-meaning. And he really wanted his family to do well, and he worked his ass off. Now, sure, the actor John Amos was a pain in the ass, and that's why they got rid of him. But that was actually beneficial to his career. He got to do Roots. What I'm saying is, when you're that young and you're born into the world that's still crazy from the previous, 200 years and shit like that, you're like, I didn't look at them in any other way than they were just people that I admired. I wanted to be Reggie Jackson, and I wanted to be friends with JJ from Good Times. And I know those are just 70s benchmarks. I'm not trying to be stereotypical. Just saying that you don't. O.J. Simpson, now he became a nut, of course. He's just crazy on Twitter. Everything. He did something in the 90s. Dustin, you tell me what he did. He tried to kill Queen Elizabeth. They're just icons. They're people that you go back and you think about, well, you didn't even think about those things. Did not even think about him. And then all the music that we liked, you didn't go, Michael Jackson, well, he's a black artist that I like. No, Michael Jackson was cool as shit. And the early rap guys, again, I never thought about things in that context. And, until later in life when they just started shoving it down your throat. Everything is this, everything is that. And I think you can delineate from today to back then. I really do. And I'm done. I'm done rambling because I'm drinking coffee and I'm all... And you guys are probably thinking I'm nuts. So, anyway. Hey,
did they talk about the candy bar at all in the documentary?
Of course they talk about the candy bar. The commercial in it, which I saw that I didn't know, but you're all high and mighty. I knew that.
How can you not? That's like your fucking Bad News Bears, man.
Well, yeah, I know, but I don't remember that commercial. I haven't looked at the commercial since the 70s. But Tanner from the Bad News Bears is, I'm Reggie Jackson. I got my Reggie bar.
What a Reggie bar. What was it made of? I don't even remember if I ever had one.
Oh, God. It had caramel and chocolate.
And peanuts.
Yeah, and peanuts. It was really good.
It was like a Mr. Good bar?
It's like a payday.
It was closer to the chocolate-covered payday, but it didn't have that many peanuts.
Right. And
the chocolate-covered payday, now that's where it's at.
That's Hi, this is Senator Lindsey Graham. I want to tell you about who brought... Hey, thank you to Atlanta Pizza and Gyro, our longtime sponsor of Radio Labyrinth, which is my favorite pop culture podcast. When I'm not busy trying to take all your money and give it away to another country or sell arms, I'm going there to eat pizza. So thank you to Mike Hall and everyone at the restaurant. Please join AP&G for their weekly Tuesday night weekend. Anyway, hey, it's Sean Hannity here. I don't like that guy either. Listen. Go to Atlanta Pizza and Gyro for their weekly Tuesday night team trivia from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Anyway, now heading into spring with all 16 draft beer taps available and over 40 other beers to choose from in bottles and cans. And if you want to smoke, you got to go outside. Don't stand in front of the door. People are bringing their kids there. Anyway, with a strong focus on local and Georgia and Southeastern craft breweries. Serving the best freshly made Greek and Italian specialties around in an authentic retro dive pizza place. Anyway, with a come-as-you-are, family-friendly atmosphere. Dine in and take out available, and you will never run into Lindsey Graham there, so you don't have to worry about looking at that freak while you're trying to eat your pizza. Limited delivery is also available via Slice, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and Patriot Food Delivery Company, which is the one I use because I'm a patriot. And anyway, if you're a business or corporate client who's looking to book a food truck for your next private event or catered luncheon, please contact Mike Hall at Atlanta Pizza and Gyro by calling Gyro. Gyro. How do you say it?
I think it's Gyro.
I can't
pronounce
out the hard G.
Silent.
I don't know how to do a silent J. I can only do the hard or soft G, like Lindsay. Anyway, 770-483-6228 is the phone number. Open for dine-in and takeout Monday through Friday from 11 to 9. Saturday closed from 12 to, open from 12. Anyway, Saturday 12 to 9. Sunday they are closed. So you'll have to eat it off your radiator if you leave it out the night before, which is how everybody did it in college. I suggest you put it in the refrigerator because it tastes better that way. You can heat it up in your oven. Anyway, did you hear about New York State? They're going to ban gas ovens. What's wrong with We're not going to do that.
Views. Or.
Snooze.
Yeah, last week was Great Expectations, which I think Steph is watching.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't realize that was the freaking whatever. I made that my staff pick this week because I liked it so much.
It's good, huh?
I really enjoyed it, yeah, a lot.
I like Charles Dickens, so I plan to watch it, but...
Oh, you love Matthew Berry in it. He's great.
Oh, he's in it? Oh,
yeah.
I'm definitely watching it now.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in it.
All the actors are wonderful.
It was last week. Rabbit Hole, did anyone watch that? The new Kiefer show?
No.
Kiefer Sutherland? No, I didn't watch it either. It was a snooze for me.
I don't like the wig.
And Yellow Jackets, which we're talking about in our Patreon show.
Yes.
That was last week. All right, this week, the Rob Lowe series starts on Netflix. It's called Unstable. It's Rob Lowe and his son. It's a comedy. It looks pretty good.
Listen,
I'll get a view.
Yeah, I'll give it a view. Let me know first before I give it a view. I didn't go back and watch Agent Elvis. I think I'm not going to watch that show.
Yeah, I didn't check that out either because you said it wasn't good, but
a lot of things about it were good except for the writing and the comedy. Yeah. And the voice acting was fantastic in the design and everything. But yeah, I like Rob Lowe a lot. I think he's really good in pretty much anything you can put him in, and he would look good. It would be good. Is that out now or when?
It comes out this week.
All right.
Murder Mystery 2 comes out. If it's Saturday, I think it'll be out already.
My mom will shout to the heavens.
Adam Sandler movie.
I'm waiting forever for the sequel.
You didn't watch the first one?
No.
Oh man, you're missing out.
It is fun. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
The Jennifer Aniston.
He's just, yeah, and he's just doing like the White Lotus thing where he just goes around and makes movies at places where he wants to live for a couple months. Yeah.
Did you watch his Mark Twain awards thing?
I did.
Yeah. Was it funny?
Yeah, it was very funny.
Steve Buscemi, he was hilarious.
Oh yeah, Buscemi was funny. Everybody was funny.
Yeah.
But Rob Schneider, I thought, was really funny.
Rob Schneider is funny.
Surprisingly.
Well, he's always been sort of funny, and he's had his moments when he's funnier than other times. People just give him shit because he's conservative.
Yeah. And he makes fun of that in his little tribute that he does to Adam.
He's self-deprecating about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the best, I thought.
Oh, cool. Where can you see that, by the way?
It's on CNN, so I don't know if they'll rerun it or is there a CNN app you can download?
Not on Fox Nation?
They've got some of it on most of the bits of the individual people.
Yeah, the individual people are all over on YouTube and stuff.
Okay.
I've seen a few of them pop up on TikTok.
Cool.
And then number 3, Tetris on Apple TV. Anyone going to watch this?
No.
I mean, it looks like it's well made, but nah.
No, I'll give it a views. Just video game documentaries are kind of weird.
It's like it's not really a documentary. It's like a retelling of the.
It's a scripted show.
Yeah.
I only like
how it was started.
Squares.
Yeah.
I only like the squares. I don't want to see.
I'm waiting for the Wordle movie.
Yeah, the Wordle movie should be good. Today's Wordle. My asshole.
The Fast and the Sudoku.
Yeah. So thank you, Jeff. That's Views or Snooze. I'll check out Unstable. That's the one I'll watch, and maybe I'll watch Murder Mystery. Maybe I even watched the first one and don't remember because
yeah, you should. That's good.
we may have an interview, a very special interview. And I got to thank our sponsor, Brett Perkins from LDI. He's the one who suggested we do Night Patrol, the classic, terrible movie from the early 80s with Pat Paulson, Linda Blair, and Murray Langston. Jeff pissed off Murray Langston, so we won't have him on the show.
What did you do to him, child?
Tell us what happened. Give us.
Well, he was all for it until he found out that it was over Zoom.
He's in his 80s, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean he's an elder gentleman.
Yes.
So when he found out that it was over Zoom, he was like, all the pandemic, the Zoom, everybody Zoom this, Zoom that. I never figured it out. I never did it. And I was like, I offered to help him.
Yes.
And then I just never heard back. And
then you got passive aggressive with him and he lost his mind.
No, but when I didn't hear back from him, I was like, well, I guess he doesn't want to do it. So then I reached out to Jackie Kong, the director of the movie.
Right. And also a comic book guy.
Yeah. I'm waiting to hear back if she'll come on or not. She's out of town right now.
Oh, okay.
But hopefully we'll get her lined up. But then when I told Murray that we had Jackie Kong, apparently they don't get along. So he was like, I'm out.
Well, yeah. Have you read up on any of that shit?
No. What's the deal?
Oh, no. Dude, he hated. By the time the movie went into post-production, he sued everyone on that film. That's why when it goes to any of his lines, they're all overdubbed. Any joke that he wrote, he sued to get that joke taken out. That's why there's stuff overdubbed all throughout the movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
He hates everyone in that film. And that's when you guys
talk about it with us then.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, wow, we're going to get no one's talked to him about this. So he's coming out with it. And I was like, oh, okay.
So he's talked about that in the past with other interviews then, right? Or he wrote a book or something.
I don't know that he's ever talked about it in other interviews, but I know that through because I'm watching or reading up on, I wanted to know why there were overdubs, because I thought, okay, it's funny and it's a shtick through the whole thing, but it's got to be done from an editor's standpoint. It's done for a reason. And so I started digging into it and come to find out that's what happened. It took them months and months to film it because they were getting money as they got money, they filmed a few scenes. And as they got a little more money, they filmed some more. So it took them 6 months to make the movie. And then it took them another year to get it post-production. But by the time during that finished filming and post-production, they had a falling out and he wanted nothing to do with it. And so that's why all of the stuff got overdubbed. And then I thought they had come together, but obviously not.
Well, okay. Maybe we can ask Jackie Kong.
Yeah, we'll talk to Jackie about it if she comes on.
Maybe
Good job, Jeff. Reopening the wound.
You ripped the bag off.
Tore the bag off his head.
You should write him back and say you weren't aware of the...
Yeah, I will after that.
Just say, we didn't know about this. We just want to talk about the movie that we like and how fun.
We'd love to get your side of it.
Yeah.
We're trying to poke a hole in the bag.
Yes. Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. Well, anyway, hopefully we can get Jackie Kong. We're still going to watch the movie and still talk about it, but it'll be an episode in our regular feed. And we are going to pick up her comic book, which is available now. I have to do that tomorrow or maybe Saturday. All right. Let's see. Speaking of the person who suggested that we do Night Patrol, do you have a commercial or residential construction printing need? Well, what are you waiting for? Contact LDI Repro Printing of Athens in Athens, Georgia since 2005 with fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldine.com. Okay, so let's do our staff picks.
Mine is the Metacritic, who I use a lot for reviews of Snooze.
Uh-huh.
They have a hilarious list of April Fool's shows that are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you looked at any of them, but they're really funny. You should check them out. Maybe Dustin can put a link in the
What, they're fake shows?
And they're fake shows for April Fools. Below Deck Palm Springs, where the whole thing's set at a pool.
So eat the series. That's hilarious.
How many books can you eat? Hosted by Kim Kardashian.
Is it poop?
Yeah.
There's no description. It's just, is it poop? Reality competition on Netflix.
One of the funniest ones was Somebody Eat Phil.
Here's one for Steph. Pennyworth's appendix, the original of Batman's butler's appendectomy. Oh, these are very funny. Thanks for pointing that out. I wish I had known. I would have looked at it and taken a look at it a little bit. Is it poop is the one I would recommend.
Is it poop?
It's like, it's kind of like Mark Schenkel's show, Who Punched Me?
Yeah.
You got to put your hand in a box and feel it. Is this poop?
That's very, very funny. That's your staff pick, Metacritic?
Yeah. Right. Metacritic and the Consultant on Amazon Prime. You guys should check it out. It's Christoph Waltz, who's great in it.
Oh, yeah. You make anything good.
And I have been jumping around. I've watched 5 episodes, and I've jumped around every episode from thinking he's this, thinking he's that, thinking he's the other thing. It's bizarre.
All right. The Consultant. Steph?
Oh, I already said it. I forgot that was one of the things that was of user. Snooze was Great Expectations on Hulu. I like the story, the Charles Dickens story, and they're doing a reimagining of it that's excellent. It truly is. It's so well acted, and
it's the best of shows. It's the worst of shows.
Yeah, the direction is great. There's not one person in it that doesn't kill it, and it's really gritty.
And that's on Hulu, right?
On Hulu, yeah.
Mine I already mentioned too. It's Reggie on Prime, the Reggie Jackson documentary, which talks more about baseball, more about other things than just baseball. But it's really good, and you learn something. If you're not careful, you just may learn. Oh wait, probably shouldn't use him.
My staff pick is a show that came out on Prime last October called The Devil's Hour. It's got Peter Capaldi plays. Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm only 2 episodes in, but it's pretty good. It's kind of like dark, and the main character from Blacklist, kind of a prisoner who says he's more than what he is. It's got to do with time travel and prediction of events, and he knows everything, but no one else seems to know what's going on. There's a lady that keeps waking up at a specific time of night, which is 3:33 a.m., which is supposed to be the devil's hour, and a lot of premonition type stuff. But Peter Capaldi he's awesome. I mean, I loved him as the doctor, but he's really good at playing this. You don't know if he's evil or if he's just intelligent. And
Did you finish it yet?
No, I've only.
That left me with it. It ends with you have more questions than when you started.
And it's only 7 episodes, so I'm hoping they might run it through for another season this year. But we'll see.
It's on Prime.
Yes,
Prime time. All right, thank you guys. Steph, what's going on with Barkville?
Come out and see all the dogs at the Caffeine and Octane this Sunday out in Kennesaw. They'll be out there from 9 a.m. to noon. If you'd like to adopt or foster or donate, please go to barkvilledogrescue.org. And a special shout out to Chris Chandler, one of our listeners, one of our producers, as a matter of fact. Chris is still going strong. He's been showing up at events while I've been here just talking about them. So I just want to say thank you so much, Chris, for carrying the torch. I appreciate that. I will be back out there soon. And I just really appreciate everybody that supported Barkville all this time and has helped me out anytime I've asked. So thank you guys.
Well, you also live it. I mean, you take dogs in and you give up your home or not give it up, but you offer your home to them. So that's pretty cool as well. It's not like you're just like, fuck these dogs.
No, it's just I'm in a hiatus just for, there's nothing I can do about it right now. I'm just kind of stuck, and it is what it is for the moment. You always feel guilty. You always feel guilty. You always want to be doing, and then there's always people that are doing so much more, and you're like, God, I'm a piece of shit.
What do you Oscar Schindler? I should have done more.
Well, it's like, yeah, I don't even donate like I used to, just because these dogs are sucking a stride.
Right from the teat. Speaking of that, I got a basement full of cats, and they're going to pause soon. PAWS.
Oh, good.
And they will all get adopted because they're cute little kittens. I wish I could keep the orange one. That one is my favorite. Every time I go down to the basement to feed, well, Cece, the mom, who I just call mommy now, she's all glad to see me and everything. But the little orange sickle, he runs up to me, and or he or she, I don't know. I'm not looking at their genitals. I don't know what they are. I'm not going to misgender them. I don't want them to claw me to death. Anyway, if you, I don't know. There's no if. I'm just going to get rid of them because I don't want to wait for people to come over. I wouldn't have cat.
Pause is a great organization.
Some people were interested in them, though, and on that post you made. You should check those people out.
I took that post down because Kate made arrangements with a friend of hers at work who's, did actually like work and got it all set up. So I should have listened, and I didn't, and I made amends. But
the thing with Paws is that, they're going to spay and neuter them all before they adopt them out. They'll have all their shots and all that jazz.
And I'm going to get Cece fixed so she can run around here and avoid all the coyotes.
You should ask Paws if they'll do it. A lot of times they will.
Yep, they're going to.
Awesome.
So thank you to Paws. All right, you guys, thank you. Thank you for putting up my rambling caffeine high tonight. But it was a lot of fun. And until next week, please remember to...
Eat, K, and